Module 2. Let's look at social engineering attacks. Exploiting user trust in blockchain security proves uniquely catastrophic because social engineering targets the human element rather than code, and since blockchain's irreversibility makes these attacks devastating. Common vectors like phishing, impersonation, and fake giveaways succeed when users are tricked into signing malicious transactions. This makes a turning moment of misplaced confidence into a permanent loss of assets. In blockchain security, fake websites and malicious extensions compound the threat of community scams by mimicking legitimate decentralized exchanges, DEXs, like Uniswap or wallet interfaces to steal seed phrases or swap addresses, all while exploiting users' habit of blind signing, which approves transactions that silently drain their entire asset holdings. Fake ICOs raise money for fake projects, while rug pulls happen when developers suddenly abandon a project and steal user funds, often by removing all trading liquidity so the token price collapses to zero. To avoid these, one needs to watch for red flags like anonymous or unverifiable teams, unaudited smart contracts, and hype-only marketing with no real product or roadmap. Riding the Squid Game hype wave, scammers issued a fake squid token in October 2024 that rallied 40,000% within days. Then the developers yanked liquidity, sending the price to zero and turning investors' portfolios to dust. Let's look at common smart contract vulnerabilities. Because smart contracts are immutable once deployed, any bug becomes a permanent vulnerability. With contracts often holding millions and their code publicly visible, attackers can freely audit them for weaknesses. The most critical risks come from subtle logic errors, insecure external calls, and flawed arithmetic, for example, integer overflows/underflows, any of which can be exploited to drain funds in a single irreversible transaction. A reentrancy attack is a smart contract vulnerability that allows malicious actors to repeatedly call a function before the previous execution completes, enabling them to recursively drain funds. This exploit infamously resulted in the $50 million theft from the DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, on the Ethereum network in 2016. In smart contracts, an integer overflow occurs when a calculation exceeds the maximum value. For example, an unsigned byte storing 255 plus 1 wraps to 0, and an underflow occurs when it goes below 0. 0 minus 1 becomes 255. Attackers can use these bugs to change balances or mint infinite tokens. Solidity 0.8.x, and later prevents this with built-in overflow checks, but older contracts without them remain vulnerable. Functions declared as public by default when they should be private. An access control flaw, such as an unprotected admin function missing an owner-only modifier on critical actions like mint or withdraw, allows any malicious user to call those functions and arbitrarily create new tokens or drain all contract funds with a single transaction. A broken authentication mechanism, where one private key controls the entire protocol, creates a catastrophic access control flaw, as compromising that key lets an attacker alter contract logic, pause trading, or drain all funds with no multi-signature or time-lock safeguards. We now focus on consensus vulnerabilities. First, let's revise the role of consensus. Blockchain consensus ensures all distributed nodes agree on the ledger state, but its security assumes no single entity controls most of the network's hash rate or stake tokens. Any centralization of these resources weakens security by enabling double spending or transaction censorship. A 51% attack occurs when a single entity controls over half of a network's hash rate, proof of work, or stake tokens, proof of stake. This allows them to reorganize the blockchain, reverse recent transactions for double spending, censor new transactions, and monopolize block production, excluding other miners or validators and undermining the network's integrity. Emerging consensus threats extend beyond traditional 51% attacks to include selfish mining, where miners withhold blocks to waste competitors' resources and gain advantage, and nothing at stake in proof of stake, where validators back conflicting chains without penalty. Even more dangerous are long-range attacks, which use compromised old private keys to rewrite history from far in the past, potentially reversing transactions and undermining finality. Let's delve into wallet security. A private key proves blockchain ownership, yet many users risk loss by storing keys in plain text, taking screenshots, or falling victim to clipboard hijackers that steal copied addresses. The security standard is to keep seed phrases, 12 or 24 recovery words, offline and never share them, while hardware wallets are best for protecting large holdings by keeping private keys off internet-connected devices. Hot wallets like MetaMask or mobile apps keep private keys online, offering convenient daily trading but exposing users to high risk from hackers, phishing, and malware. Cold wallets, such as hardware devices or paper backups, store keys entirely offline, providing strong security for long-term holdings but less convenience for active trading or quick access. Verify every request and signature to resist social engineering. Audit smart contracts thoroughly before deployment as they are immutable. Proactively prevent vulnerabilities like reentrancy and integer overflows. And mitigate 51% attacks by supporting decentralized mining and staking. Treat wallet security as your last defense, using cold storage for major assets, apply least privilege to access and permissions, and stay updated on new threats to adapt your protections. Thank you for your attention.